Add me to the stage. It's kind of hard to see these picks. I might have to zoom in a little bit for y'all. There you go. How's that look for everybody? Now you can see a little bit better. All right. So in this first thing here, hold on. This first portion right here, we're going to be talking about my TDs are real. Starting the draft at quarterback, of course, with CJ Stroud. That's nice. Love that. You get Alvin Kamara at running back, Ramondre Stevenson. The running back situation seems pretty solid. I like it. You would definitely want some running back depth on the bench, which you can see they got Jalen Warren, one of the most prolific handcuff running backs you can get right now that has his own standalone value. So that's awesome. David Njoku at tight end. It's a great pick. Chris Olave, CD Lamb at wide receiver. So doing solid at wide receiver. Honestly, I'm really happy with this draft. It's really well-rounded. Now we just got to get some depth on this team, mainly at running back. There's not a ton. Jerome Ford from the Cleveland Browns, however, is a good choice. With Nick Chubb being out, Jerome Ford did show himself last year as a great option, especially off the waiver wire once Nick Chubb got hurt. Somebody already took Nick Chubb, so I guarantee that they're waiting for Jerome Ford to drop to them. Wide receiver, I would be looking at Rashid Shaheed would be awesome. Tyler Lockett's not a bad choice either. I do also like Adonai Mitchell and Xavier Legette from the Carolina Panthers. Tight ends that are still available right now on the list, we got Pat Freiermuth, Dalton Schultz, Tyler Conklin. Seems like everybody might have their tight end right now. Going over to Joseph Scary Team, he had the first pick. He had Jaden Daniels at quarterback, and you guys know that I'm not a big fan of Jaden Daniels, but like I hope the best for Joseph. Christian McCaffrey, he had the number 1 pick. Rashad White at the second running back, so you can see he went Marvin Harrison with that third round. Oh, we are on the clock. Let me stop looking at everybody else's team and look at my team really fast. Aphrodisiac drafting here at the second pick. Kyler Murray, Derrick Henry, Najee, Tyreek, DK Metcalf, Brock Bowers, Jalen Waddle. I'm trading one of Tyreek or Jalen Waddle, T. Higgins, Zach Moss. I think I might attack that wide receiver room, but at the same time, quarterback's looking decent right now. Ooh, and I see Tua Tagovailoa down there to pair with either Tyreek Hill or Jalen Waddle, whichever wide receiver I end up. So we're solid at quarterback. We don't want to look at the quarterback room anymore. And you guys know how much I've been talking about Rashid Shaheed from the New Orleans Saints. I like that choice there. Adonai Mitchell, Xavier Legette. It's kind of a tough choice between those three. Running backs, I already have DK Metcalf. Otherwise, Zach Charbonnet wouldn't be bad. Ty Chandler is not a bad choice either. Trey Benson may have some really good handcuff value, but I'm not feeling comfortable, especially with going running back late and not as early and often as I wanted to. I'm going to need running backs that can come out swinging early in the season. So I think what I do is I lock up a bench wide receiver in Rashid Shaheed. I've been talking about him. I was just talking about him on the must-have players you cannot leave your draft without. And look at me not leaving another draft without Rashid Shaheed. I'm going to tell you guys the truth. In my next couple of picks, here's what I'm thinking, okay? Pick 11 right now. So my next pick will be picks 12 and 13. I like Ty Chandler. I like Khalil Shakir. I already got my quarterback situation, but I do like Justin Herbert. Kirk Cousins wouldn't be bad. And Caleb Williams, taking the rookie on your bench after you already have a good running back or a good quarterback wouldn't be a bad choice. I got no Indianapolis Colts on this team so far. Amari DeMarcado. And we're getting to that point, ladies and gentlemen, that probably after this next pick, I'm going to be starting to buy my lottery tickets. I'm going to be starting to buy players that I really have, like, they're either going to work out for me in the first 3 weeks, or they're going to be off my team in the first 2 weeks. And it's going to be up to them and their team on how they perform, how much they get on the field. You guys have heard me talking about a lot about Jalen Wright, maybe not as much as other people have. I'm big on Jalen Wright, but you need he's the third running back on the list. Everybody's kind of building it on the premise that if Devon Achane or Tyreek Hill, or Devon Achane or Raheem Mostert miss time, one of the two, then you're going to be looking at him getting a great addition into this offense here. Give me 1 second. I'm going to pop off here for one quick moment while you guys look at the picks. I'll be right back with you. All right. Have I been muted this whole time? I hope not. I feel like I keep clicking mute and unmute, and I have no idea if my mic's been muted or not. And so I apologize if it has been. We've been doing all kind of analysis if it has been offline. We've been talking about everybody's teams. Yep, I have been offline the whole time. I can hear myself now. That's annoying. It's all right, guys. It's live. You know we do much better than this on any other day. It's been a busy, hectic day. It's been fucking everything up around here. All right. Anyway, kind of talking about everything we've been talking about for the last 20 minutes that you guys couldn't hear me on. My bad about that. We got the first pick of the draft went, of course, Christian McCaffrey. And then they got Jaden Daniels at quarterback, which you guys know that I'm not a big fan of Jaden Daniels. We got Rashad White, Marvin Harrison Jr., Devontae Smith, and they made it up with Trey McBride there, Cooper Kupp. So they're putting a lot of faith in that starting lineup. Evan Ingram, I do like the backup tight end option there that they had. But especially having one of the top 3 tight ends, I don't think I would have wasted that early of a pick on Evan Ingram. However, you got Jordan Addison, Brooks on the bench, who's not going to be available for the first week. Is that Hollywood Brown? Also doubtful after taking an injury in preseason. Caleb Williams and Deshaun Watson. Joseph's scary team is looking scary. You can figure out which meaning behind that actually is. We got I'm really good, probably. Took Lamar Jackson at quarterback. Bijan, Josh Jacobs. Love that so far. Devontae Adams, Zay Flowers. The wide receiver room gives me cause to pause just because those are wide receivers that have a lot of red flags for the price tag you have to pay on them. You're looking at Zay Flowers, George Kittle at tight end, Cortland Sutton, yet another wide receiver. It's got a lot of red flags that I'm not really wanting to take on my team right now. Browns defense, so they jumped early on defense. What round did they take them in? I'm not sure. Also got their kicker already, so good for them. Round 13, kicker and defense already filled out. Got Raheem Mostert on the bench, D-Hop on the bench, Jerome Ford on the bench, Jerry Jeudy. The bench looks phenomenal. There are some questions in those starting 3 wide receivers, but you got DeAndre Hopkins, Jerry Jeudy down there, so you're really going to give yourself I'm really good probably is going to give themselves a lot of questions, I think, in these first few weeks. When it comes to their starting lineup, I feel like it's going to be one of those frustrating lineups where every time you start, let's say, Jerry Jeudy, he goes off. Every time you sit Jerry Jeudy, or every time you start Jerry Jeudy, he sucks. But every time you sit Jerry Jeudy, he goes off. So I feel like that team could be frustrating in that fact that you don't have like a set it and forget it wide receiver that you're comfortable with. But I do like that team a lot. My TDs are real. We've talked about that one in depth, but I was on mute. They got CJ Stroud at quarterback, Alvin Kamara, Ramondre Stevenson at running back. I'm not loving the running back room, but however, I do like Alvin Kamara. He gets great attention in the offense, great passing work in the offense as well. Ramondre Stevenson, it's his backfield all alone again, coming fresh off the injuries he had last year. I like Ramondre Stevenson, and at the price point that you were able to get him at, that discount was amazing. Love the CeeDee Lamb pick. Love the Chris Olave pick. David Njoku at tight end. I love it. Terry McLaurin, you took a chance there with a wide receiver attached to one of the worst offenses in the league. However, I like Terry McLaurin. I think Terry McLaurin, Scary Terry. We've all known Scary Terry, and I think this is the first year that people have really discounted Scary Terry. And it's not like Scary Terry has had great quarterback play throughout his career. So what really has changed that makes Scary Terry less scary? Because they've added Austin Eckler, which adds some more weapons into this offense. So I actually like that Terry McLaurin pick as a sneaky pick, despite the fact it's attached to a bad offense. Jalen Warren, Ezekiel Elliott on the bench. I love that. You have one running back you can start instantaneously in Ezekiel Elliott, another running back with standalone value in Jalen Warren through the first couple of weeks. And if anything happens to Najee Harris, you're locked in there. Speaking of locked in, Tyler Lockett, I like that pick a lot. Gus Edwards, man, I don't know if I can ride the Gus bus this year. But he is off of the Baltimore Ravens, so we will be able to see kind of what it changes. Him getting that Austin Eckler role. I do kind of like Gus Edwards. I like his opportunity. I just think that this offense isn't going to be as sexy as it has been in the last few years. And that's the one thing that's giving you cause to pause on Gus Edwards. Darnell Mooney, I like him a lot. Honestly, Darnell Mooney is one of those players I've been talking about that's been dipping in drafts, and I'm buying because of that. You're looking at You got Drake London on the outside, who has slightly underperformed throughout this point of his career. He's been good, but not as good as you wanted in fantasy football. You got Kyle Pitts, who we've been all waiting for Megatron in tight end form to come out from Kyle Pitts. We haven't seen it. Darnell Mooney coming into a team that really needs a number one wide receiver really might mess around and be the number one wide receiver on this team. And then a nice solid backup, Tyler Conklin with David Njoku. We know David Njoku cannot stay away from the fire pit. So who knows how many games he might have to miss this year from burns or anything like that. And I'm just playing. That wasn't funny. It's too soon. Anyway, you got Tyler Conklin backing him up. I think that is going to be a great option. He's one of my favorite late round tight ends there in drafts. Right now we got on the clock Urban Meyer Smells, round 14. Going over to PJ's team. He's got Jordan Love, stole that. It was a great pick for him. That was a great discount because I was looking at that as well. James Cook, Tony Pollard. I don't think I love that. You're also looking at Amon-Ra St. Brown, Drake London. Wide receiver room. Okay, I like it. Sam Laporta at tight end. So you can tell that they're one of the people that went and jumped early on tight end. Let's see what we got going on here. My blunt went out. Oh, that's upsetting. The question is, do I take one more player that I want to do on my lottery tickets on right now, or do I wait a sec? Because let's see. I don't actually. Nope. I have to take kicker and defense. I thought I had one more round. It sucks being those back-to-back picks because you can't really tell. All right. My Seahawks defense is still out there. You guys know that I like that. The Bengals defense is out there. Still loving that. Chicago Bears defense out there. Still love that. New Orleans Saints. It's crazy that all the defenses I gave you guys in my defensive breakdown, the cheat sheet, are still out there, and teams are picking up the Broncos defense. I'm loving my defensive choices right here. Told you guys I like the fact that the Seattle Seahawks play the Denver Broncos, then the New England Patriots week 1. But however, I'm taking it early enough that since the Steelers defense is one of those defenses that I've been wanting to take despite their matchup in week 1. I just wish that they showed you their like current season schedule instead of last season for some fuck-ass reason. Yeah. I just don't understand why ESPN's fantasy app does that. Fantasy football, if anybody's watching from the ESPN fantasy football team, please make that change, because what the hell is going on? Why can't I see why can I see all 18 games that they played last season, but I can't see next week's game? Let's go with somebody that we like. When I attack kickers, we don't talk about kickers very much. I like to go with an offense that's very successful, but might struggle to get into the end zone. Sort of like the Indianapolis Colts. And I like Matt Gay, but he missed so many damn kickoffs or field goals in the preseason that I can't feel comfortable with it. I think I like Dicker, the kicker, with the Chargers, but are they going to get downfield enough? Let's go Kaimi Fairbairn from the Houston Texans. Give us something to cheer for in week 1 against the Colts. And that's going to be a good offense. And you know what I'm saying? They're going to be getting down the field across the 50 almost every drive. I think Kaimi Fairbairn is going to be in a great position this season. I also love Dicker, the kicker, Younghoe Koo. I think Younghoe Koo might be a sneaky, really good pick for kicker right now, because that Falcons offense, it's going to have to really try to not be somewhat successful this season. Let's finish going through these teams as everybody's picking out their kickers right now and stop talking about kickers, because who cares about kickers? Anyway, you're looking at PJ, Sam Laporta, Tank Dell. I like the Sam Laporta, Tank Dell picks. Rashee Rice on the bench. Xavier Worthy on the bench. Is that Rashee Rice or Rashid Rice? Rashee Rice, okay. Or Rashid Shaheed is what I was thinking. I'm sorry. Gabe Davis on the bench. Blake Corum on the bench. That's a sneaky good pick. Not many people were paying attention to. Dalton Schultz, Romeo Dubes, and Ray Davis. Not loving the Ray Davis pick. I feel like you could have got more upside. However, that's a good pick there. You got the Monster Mash with Dak Prescott at quarterback, and they went a little early on Dak Prescott, so I wasn't loving that. But otherwise, they got a decent team. Travis Etienne Jr., Joe Mixon, Jamar Chase, Stephon Diggs. That's damn solid. Tight end Jake Ferguson. You got Amari Cooper at flex. That starting lineup is solid. You got Jaden Reed, Devin Singletary, Chuba Hubbard, more than a Thielen, Taysom Hill on the bench. Seems like she has been getting some good advice over here from Sunday school. Patrick Mahomes at quarterback, Jonathan Taylor and Zamir White. Mike Evans and Debo. I'm not a big fan of the wide receiver room just for personal preference. I think that they're both going to be good people, good players this year. However, Mike Evans has screwed me over like more times than I can count. And me personally, I think I have to put Mike Evans on my own personal do not draft list just for personal reasons. I'm not going to tell y'all not to take him, but I don't like Mike Evans that much this year. Deebo Samuel, I think I feel like almost the same as last year. Even though Deebo proved it to us last year, I just feel almost the same. You know, with how many mouths to feed there are in this offense, like, can it be consistent? That's the scary part for me. But I like that wide receiver room. Dallas Goedert at tight end, Keenan Allen at the flex. They got Justin Tucker, 49ers defense. That's going to be solid for them. You got Austin Eckler at running back, Rome, Nick Chubb on the bench. Then you got Polk, Leggett, and Bo Nix there as well. That's a pretty solid squad that Sunday School did there. Let's go get E. Tizzle. Josh Allen, got Kyron Williams and Aaron Jones. That's a decent running back room. Justin Jefferson, George Pickens. I like that one a lot. Travis Kelce, he was that guy with Josh Allen. The last one with Patrick Mahomes. You got David Montgomery at flex. Great pick for him there. I remember him stealing that because I was going to take the pick right after him. Christian Watson. I almost said Christian McCaffrey. Christian Watson, Jacoby Myers, J.K. Dobbins now on the Chargers as well. It's crazy that the Chargers were like Gus Edwards and J.K. Dobbins didn't work out for Baltimore. Let's see what they can do with a lightning bolt on the side of their head. I don't know. They also got Justin Herbert as well, which is a great backup quarterback to have behind Josh Allen. Can he do it? Can he not? You'll be able to figure that out quickly. What I'm confused is why he went to two backup quarterbacks, three quarterbacks in total. Having Josh Allen at quarterback, I feel like you're not going to need two. I mean, I would feel comfortable maybe not even going with a backup quarterback for the first couple of weeks if I had to get more upside out of my players. Double C's has Joe Burrow at quarterback. Saquon Barkley is that Bijan O'Brien, Brian Robinson Jr. You got Puka Nacua, Malik Neighbors. This team is feeling a very like you have a lot of hope in the players. Like I said, Joe Burrow, Saquon Barkley, I'm liking that a lot. Brian Robinson Jr., you're really going to have to hope that Brian Robinson Jr. takes that starting job from Austin Eckler, especially with Brian Robinson being your number 2 running back. Puka Nacua at wide receiver. I like Puka Nacua. I just don't think it's going to be easy for him to replicate a similar season to what he had last year. Malik Neighbors. I do like Malik Neighbors. And then you got Mark Andrews, DJ Moore. Good picks there. You got Christian Kirk on the bench, McConkey on the bench. Chase Brown, great pick there. You also got Adonai Mitchell, which is a nice pick there for them. Trey Benson and Jaleel McLaughlin as well. I like their bench. You can tell that they might not have got the players that they wanted in their starting lineup, but they did their research and bought some lottery tickets in the late rounds and really got some high upside players that really can save this team. But that's overall a pretty decent squad. Like I said, not in love with that, the Brian Robinson at RB2, Chase Brown as your only other running back, or Chase Brown and Trey Benson, so 2 backup running backs on the bench behind you. So you're really going to need some help at running back for sure. Definitely think we're going to be able to work some trades before the season starts because I know I need to get one off at least. Then you got Chris's competitive team. Anthony Richardson, I can't be mad about that. Devon Achane, Kenneth Walker at running back. That's you could tell that they probably had a late pick or at least went running back a little later and kind of snagged them when they came to him. But they took some good options there. Hopefully Devon Achane stays healthy for you. Garrett Wilson, A.J. Brown. You can tell that they went wide receiver early. I do like that a lot. Kyle Pitts, man, I hope Pitts works out for somebody this year. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm tired of the will he work out or not conversation. I feel like this is a boomer bust year for Kyle Pitts. He's either Kyle Pitts or he's stanking Pitts. They also got Deontay Johnson from the Panthers, which I'm very curious to see what Deontay Johnson can do in this Panthers offense after seeing what Adam Thielen was able to do last year in this offense. Deontay Johnson, younger, better, faster, stronger. Like that a lot. Tyjae Spears, Keon Coleman, Mike Williams. Man, this bench is amazing. I like this one on Chris's team. Zach Charbonnet, Ty Chandler, Antonio Gibson. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm absolutely in love with this bench. And then even took Marshawn Lloyd and bought the upside lottery ticket at the end of that. That's a gorgeous bench, Chris. Absolutely love that. Then we got Bebe Carriers here. Brock Purdy, Isaiah Pacheco, DeAndre Swift. That's a pretty decent start there for you. Michael Pittman Jr., Brandon Ayuk. Okay. You could tell they were kind of letting the draft fall to them as it came to them. Then you also got here. Oh, damn, I am on the clock. I'm on my pick. All right, cool. Dalton Kincaid, great tight end choice. Javonte Williams over there at the flex position. Broncos defense, which they got in the ninth round, wasn't very happy with that selection. However, do think Broncos defense might work out for them. They're playing Seattle in week 1. We'll see how that works out. Like that Brian Thomas Jr. pick on the bench. Aaron Rodgers on the bench. Nice handcuff with Tyler Algier here. You got Jamison Williams, Cole Kmet, Brandon Cooks. Is that it? Yep. And then Dontavion Wicks. I like the bench as well. You gave yourself some options there. Overall, let's see. I think my favorite teams, I like Sunday School a lot. I do like Monster Mash, not as much as I like Sunday School. My TDs are real. I'd probably put them 2. So I got Sunday School 1. My TDs are real 2. And then Chris's team, because of that bench, I'm not going to lie to you, I like that as well. So probably be my 4 favorite teams. Just like off pure draft, you know what I'm saying? Buying the values that they could get when they could get them. I got one more pick here, guys, going on. I haven't even showed you guys my team. Best for last. Kyler Murray at quarterback, Derrick Henry at running back, Najee at running back. My running backs are definitely going to need some help. Luckily for me, I did take Tyreek and Jalen Waddle. It's not a move that I typically would make or typically would endorse somebody else to do. It was damn near a mistake. However, I can sell Tyreek Hill because I like Jalen Waddle almost as much as I like Tyreek Hill. I think I'll get similar value, not the same value. Don't misquote me there. But I do think that I could get rid of either Tyreek Hill or Jalen Waddle, and I could get a decent running back out of it. Maybe not the running back that I want. I'm not going to go crazy. I'm not trying to offer Tyreek Hill for Christian McCaffrey, but who knows? But the guy had the choice. But he auto-picked, so maybe he wanted Tyreek Hill. We'll see. Like I said, we're going to have to get a trade-off at the beginning of the season. But then I do also have DK Metcalf, which I love. So when you take out the fact that I have, let's just act like Jalen Waddle's not there. We got DK Metcalf, T. Higgins, Rashid Shaheed, Khalil Shakir. I love the wide receiver room, so I'm not going to have any problems at wide receiver. Running back is really where I'm going to need my help. I got Derrick Henry, Najee Harris, Zach Moss, and Bucky Irving. I bought the lottery ticket on late in the draft. Let's see here what else we got going on. Tight end Brock Bowers, Tua Tagovailoa at the backup quarterback to combine with either Jalen Waddle or Tyreek Hill. So I've got Kyler Murray, which is great, and Tua. I'm loving my quarterback situation. Rashid Shaheed on the wide receiver bench. I've really loved that pick. That's one of those picks I've been preaching to you guys, and those players that I cannot leave my drafts without. We got 5 picks left. Monster Mash on the clock. I have 1 bench spot available. Let's kind of take a look and see what is some good options here. Just kind of discussing players that you can take some flyers on. Those lottery tickets like we talked about. If you're in need of a quarterback right now, a Geno Smith pick would not be a bad choice. Not huge on Khalil Herbert, and I'm not as big on Jalen Wright as everybody else has been, but he's not a terrible pick. Who just went off the board? Khalil Herbert, as soon as I said his name. That's so funny. DJ Chark, doo-doo. I might snag a backup tight end behind Brock Bowers, because we all know that rookie tight ends don't necessarily. Ooh, I see person Ben Sano that I've been talking to you guys about. Really like that as a late lottery ticket that I could buy here. Zay Jones suspended right now, but I have too many wide receivers. I don't realistically think I want another wide receivers. I think there's 2 players I'm kind of deciding between. It's Dalvin, but I don't know if Dalvin is worth a roster right now. It's something that I've been kind of torn between. They signed him on Wednesday. He's not going to start on the active roster, so you're not going to look at him having standalone value, and he also is going to compete, of course, with Rico Dowdle and Deuce Vaughn. He's not ready. He hasn't been in anybody's training camp. I think he's somebody I add to my watch list. Jordan Mason for the 49ers. I do like that as a late lottery ticket. Quentin Johnston. Few rookies disappointed to the degree that Johnston did in 2023. That's damn disrespectful. Wow. That's like in your face disrespectful. Seahawks defense, Bears defense, Bengals defense, all still out there. If you're looking at a defense, you need to snag one of those up. I might even mess around and take a backup defense so I have a second week defense in that Seahawks defense against New England. Damn. Am I going to do that? Do I buy the late lottery ticket? Or do I set myself up for streaming success? That's the question. I can go Ben Sano or Jordan Mason, or I can set myself up for streaming success because I know that Seattle Seahawks defense plays Denver, who's going to get smacked around, and then they play New England, who they're going to get smacked around. Tough choice. Don't want a quarterback. I either need a running back, Ben Sano. So it's really that. Ben Sano, Jordan Mason, or defense. Taking two defenses is just wild. I think that I'm going to go Jordan Mason. Lock it up. Here's our team, guys. This is the order we did in. Like I said, damn near a mistake with the Jalen Waddle pick. But I like how my wide receiver room ended out, and I'm going to be able to get great value from one of those wide receivers. So it ended up working out beautifully for me there. Absolutely love the draft there. We're at about 36 minutes total here. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. That's going to do it for the 12-team PPR draft. Let me know if you guys have any questions about your drafts coming up or anything like that. I got more videos coming out on YouTube today, tomorrow, and the rest of this week as well. And I got some big news coming as well that I can't wait to share with you guys next week either. So make sure you keep your chin up and your attitude down. And I'm going to see y'all all the way next time. Peace out.